What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and in an exclusive interview for Geeks and Gamers, Kamran Pasha, Hollywood writer, revealed that George Lucas hated The Last Jedi and that he is horrified with the state of Disney Star Wars. And he also revealed some information about Jon Favreau and how he came to be involved in Disney Star Wars. And if all of this is true, it could mean a lot of things. Now, we're going to get into it right now. And first, I wanted to show you guys this article over on geeksandgamers.com, which I do really wish that I could do this more often and make videos based on things from geeksandgamers.com. So Andrew wrote this article there. We have a lot of the video, but I will leave a link to geeksandgamers.com. Please go over there, sign up for the site. It's absolutely free, and you do have an option to become a premium member, get some different perks, things like that. But the big thing here is the interview that Jeremy did with Kamran Pasha, where you can see from Jeremy's reaction that he was not expecting some of this to happen. Now, this is a clip from it. George Lucas horrified by Disney Star Wars. Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi. And I just want to let Kamran speak for himself. I want you to hear his words, and then we're going to talk about what he reveals a little bit. Let's start it right about here.
It's a prediction you're making. That's not, saying you have.
I don't have any internal knowledge. I do have people who know George Lucas personally and well, who have said to me that he hates The Last Jedi and he's horrified by what's happened.
Really?
I've had people.
Look at Jeremy's face as he realized that he's just stumbled onto gold right here in this interview.
Screenwriters that
listen, Kamran Pasha is extremely well spoken, a really great interview. But when this happened, you could tell Jeremy did not expect this.
I've worked with Lucasfilm that have told me directly.
Really?
See,
I didn't know. I never even thought to ask you that question. So can we? And of course, I'm not going to ask you any questions specifically about names because I would never ask you to do that. But so now he hates The Last Jedi. Do you know anything else about like where he stands on the other films? Like Solo and all. Have you heard anything from anybody?
Okay. Well, I heard the most about The Last Jedi because you can see I'm vocal on it. And so when I started getting people to start talking to me privately, so, someone who I'll not identify who I know has very deep roots inside of Lucasfilm today and the George Lucas camp, as in personal relationships with Lucas himself, have said to me that Lucas has said privately that he feels The Last Jedi, to use the actual word, is soulless, that it lacks a soul. And that he was so shocked. He was open about his disappointment that they didn't go new ways with the Force Awakens. That he thought, and he said in interviews.
So just those words, right? He thought The Last Jedi was soulless, and that he's horrified by the state of Star Wars right now. That is powerful. Listen, let's be real. This is not something that is shocking because it's surprising. It's shocking to hear that he has actually told people that, right? Because listen, if you had created something and then you sell it and you hope that this company is going to take care of it and listen to your ideas, you put it in the hands of someone you think is capable like Kathleen Kennedy, and it turns out that she's an absolute garbage producer and someone that was terrible to put in charge of this thing, you would be mad, you would be disappointed, you would be upset, you would be horrified, which is exactly the words that Kamran used. Horrified by Disney Star Wars. And let's be real, there's a lot of people out there that hate The Last Jedi. But he has more to say. That's George Lucas's thoughts. That's how George Lucas feels based on some people very close to George Lucas. But then there's some other stuff in here about Jon Favreau and how he came to be involved, which I think is surprising too. And listen, if you guys follow this channel, I've been critical of The Mandalorian for good reasons. Because I think it's incredibly mediocre with some huge plot holes, and we all hold it up like it's some masterpiece. But let's hear about Jon Favreau right here.
Right? And I'm going to say this, and I've never revealed this publicly. I have a friend who's worked on, who's very close to Jon Favreau and has worked on several of his movies. And this is what he said to me, and I don't know Jon Favreau. He said to me, Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi.
Whoa.
Again, that's telephone. Favreau did not say this to me. And I love Jon Favreau. I hope I'm not burned by chance to work with him in the future. I have already with all my big mouth. But he said to me recently, we had lunch before all the lockdowns happened. And he said to me, that no, Jon has told him that what he claims, again, this is coming from a friend who I know has worked on Favreau's productions in his inner circle, multiple productions. And he said to me that Favreau told him that once he saw The Last Jedi, he realized Star Wars was out of control, and that he actively lobbied to get involved in it because he's a fan and he wanted to save the franchise. That he wasn't just that Lucasfilm went out to him, but he started like, guys, I can help with this. You guys are on the wrong track.
So there's a couple things there to talk about, right? The fact that Jon Favreau also hates The Last Jedi. And I think it's very clear, and Rian Johnson even said himself that he wanted to make a movie that was divisive. I don't think anyone can doubt that this movie is incredibly divisive. There's some huge fans of The Last Jedi out there. There is a whole lot of people that absolutely hate that movie and what it did to Star Wars. Sounds like George Lucas and Jon Favreau both hate it. And that Jon Favreau himself wanted to help with Star Wars. He wasn't sought out to help with Star Wars. He went to them and said, I can help you. I can help you do this. Now, like I said, I have my criticisms of Jon Favreau. I do. I think that some of his movies he's made specifically for Disney are pretty garbage. I think that The Mandalorian is a very mediocre show that is completely lost the plot that it should have had, that I'm not sure quite why people are praising it the way that they are. However, you can look at my Mandalorian reviews for all of that. But about Jon Favreau, I do truly think that, and I've said this, that I think Jon Favreau really wants what's best for Star Wars. He wants to do right for Star Wars. And I think that that is something that is a very good thing and something that we don't have enough of in Lucasfilm. People in Lucasfilm right now want to do what they think Star Wars should be. And those are two very different mindsets. Jon Favreau wants what's best for Star Wars. Other people there want what's best for them and want Star Wars to reflect that, the thing that they think is good. Those are two different frames of mind. Now, Kamran Pasha, again, he has not heard this from George Lucas. He has not heard this from Jon Favreau. It is secondhand information to him from people that do really know him. I do encourage you to go follow Kamran. He's been a writer on some things that you've definitely heard of. Things like Sleeper Cell and Nikita and Roswell, New Mexico. He has been involved in some of those things, and he is a Hollywood writer. That's what he is. He happens to think a lot differently than a lot of others. Now, this entire stream was a really great conversation. Went into a lot of different places. Talked about Dave Filoni. Talked about astrology. Talked about a bunch of different things. But this was a bombshell. This George Lucas. The fact that George Lucas, that we have heard, not just, hey, it looks like George probably hates this because who could like it? He's kind of distanced himself. No, George Lucas hates The Last Jedi. He hates Disney Star Wars. We know he was disappointed with The Force Awakens. That was pretty clear. But that he hates Disney Star Wars, a lot of us have assumed that he has. A lot of us hope that he has. But that is a bombshell right there. It'll be interesting to hear if anyone else comes out with corroborating information that says, you know what? I've heard those things too. Only time will tell. I do encourage you, go to geeksandgamers.com, create a profile, consider become a premium member there. Also, go to Cameron's Twitter, give him a follow. I would say go to Jeremy's Twitter, but he got suspended, so you can't. But let me know what you think about this. I do think it's a good idea to watch the interview in its entirety over on Geeks and Gamers Live. But let me know what your thoughts. Do you think it's true? Do you think that George Lucas hates The Last Jedi and Disney Star Wars? That Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi and lobbied to go there to help save Star Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.